morning. It is April 27th, and I have a big gobbler roosted about 100 yards away from my HME blind right now. So I snuck in last night, I roosted him, waited until dark, and I set that blind up. I can't wait. It's right on the edge of this beautiful clover field that they frequently use, so I haven't even actually come in to check these trail cameras yet. So I'm sure I'm going to have pictures of some turkeys. I don't really care about the pictures right now, though, because he's there. So stick with me. I've got everything in the blind already, so all I got to do is grab my bow and make my way in there this morning. So we'll talk more when we get to the blind. Stay tuned. He just gobbled. That was his first time this morning on the limb. I can hear some more gobblers off behind me, a couple 100 yards. And when they sounded off, he sounded off. So he's right where I put him to bed last night. I got in super quiet. I just unfortunately had a deer snort at me. But as you can hear, he's still gobbling, so I have a really, really good feeling that he's going to come out in the field. I just hope that he's not intimidated by any of the Jake decoy. He's roosted right on the edge of it. And a lot of times what they do is they either pitch out into this field or they'll pitch down into the logging road trail where I have a stealth cam set up. And if he does that, he'll walk right out right into the open for us. And I got the Jake decoy sitting facing right at him, so hopefully he takes it as a challenge move and comes in to fight. So I'm gonna get set back in the dark here and wait for Tom to fly down. Pretty sure that he's on the ground. And when he last gobbled, it sounded like he was right by my other trail camera. And I'm not so sure that wasn't just a hen that was kind of heavy helping at me. Alright, I'm gonna back up. Alright, well, he has since flown down and definitely got with hens. I let out a couple little super soft morning yelps, and I had a hen actually start yelping, and she's a little bit higher. She's more even with me in the field, but obviously roosted in the woods. And I know he had gobbled one time when he was on the ground, and then it's just been silent after that, other than I can hear him spitting and drumming in there, but I can't tell if it's getting any closer yet. So fingers crossed that he comes out and that some clover and maybe a small fight are on the menu this morning. All we need is a couple of those hens to start making their way out and we'll be in business. Alright guys, I'm going to make it quick. I've got a bird less than 50 yards away working his way out into this field, so Todd just texted me, told me he overslept and he's missing out on a good hunt. Well, I can honestly say I have no idea what happened there. Gosh. He was coming. He was right there. I could hear him just spinning, drumming super loud. And she started putting and purring her way down to him. She went for 15 minutes straight, probably. And he totally shut down after that. He gobbled a couple times at her. And then he wanted nothing to do with it. I'm sure they tucked tail and they went back the opposite way down towards the hardwood, but I don't get it. It's been quiet. I've let it kind of settle down, and it sounds like he's starting to work his way back. I'd say he's within 100 yards again, so fingers crossed he makes his way back in. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy some coffee. Oh, there he is. He just came out in the field. Unbelievable. Literally the one bird that I tried not to set up on was this tom that has the white in his tail fan. Don't get me wrong, I want to get him, but he started off this year back in March all the way on the other side of this property, and he was with a big flock, and he was one of the first birds to get booted. He was the bird that came by me. If a lot of you guys follow our Instagram story, he was the bird that came by my truck the one day, spitting and drumming, walked right on by my truck. And of course, you know, when I come, I haven't checked any of these trail cameras. I wish I could have got in and checked them, because if I'd have known it was that gobbler sitting on the limb, I would not have set up here. I would not have set up with Jake, at least. And I let out one yelp after it's been half hour since the hen moved everyone away from me, but I let out one yelp and he gobbled, and that's when I did this little interview saying, it sounds like he's within 100 yards, you know, hopefully he comes. And he must have run up here, because as I'm talking to you guys, all of a sudden I look at the logging road trail entrance and there he is strutting. I mean, he popped out, immediately saw that Jake, and turned around like he had made a big mistake. I do not believe it. Oh my gosh, he came back. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. He's done. I just shot him at 5 yards. The bird I said wasn't gonna actually fight came back. Yes! My first day out for 3rd season here in Illinois, and I just tagged a nice gobbler. I can't believe it. So, like I was saying earlier, this same bird was on the other side of the property with a big flock, and I watched him get kicked out of the group that day and came right past my truck. I mean, right past it. And here today, I haven't seen him for a while, so I knew he got booted from the group. And of course, the one bird I set up on this farm is him. And he came out after that hen, she boogered out of here that time. He went with her, she must have disappeared. And I yelped once and he came back. And he saw that Jake decoy and immediately turned around like, gosh, I don't want to fight. So I did a couple Jake calcs in hopes that, okay, well, hopefully he wants to fight a Jake. And I started cutting and doing a couple yelps, and sure enough, he came right back. I cannot believe it. I could hear him spitting and drumming. I thought, I'll be damned, he's coming back to the field. And this time he stood there for about 2 or 3 seconds, and then he turned and just started coming on a dime. I mean, I absolutely smoked him. I smoked him. I sent that decoy for right through him. He's dead in the field. Oh man, Todd had texted me this morning, said he slept in. And I told him, gosh man, come on, it's a gorgeous morning, how can you miss out? But he's out in the field now, so hopefully he has some luck. And believe it or not, that is the first turkey I've ever killed with my bow. I do not believe it. I mean, you can't get a more picture perfect hunt. Nice, beautiful day. Super green clover in the back, and he comes right to the decoys, and I shoot him with the triax. So come along with me. We're gonna go check him out. Alrighty guys, here he is. Just an absolutely awesome end to a sweet hunt this morning. I kind of feel bad making fun of this Tom now for chickening out on the decoys the first go around, but man, I started yelping on my HS mouth call, and sure enough, he just came roaring back in the field. And that time, you could tell his demeanor was completely different, and he just came on a string right to the decoy. So he snuck in. It was 4-yard shot. I mean, you can't stress enough putting decoys close to the blind with an archery equipment, especially. Turkey's vitals are so small. The closer the better, and when you can get a blind that you can darken yourself off, wear black, you can get away with a lot of movement. And just absolutely perfect today. He came back out, gave me a second chance, and that time he fully committed, and so did I. So made a perfect shot with the DK4, and he only ran, I don't know, 25, 30 yards. So just absolutely unbelievable. And like I said, this is my first turkey with a bow. So man, 4 yards, a turkey spitting and drumming at 4 yards is quite the experience, and I suggest it to anyone out there. Turkey hunting is absolutely my favorite thing to do. Springtime never lasts long enough, it seems, and you know what, I've got a couple more tags in my pocket, so gonna give it a try. But first day out here, 3rd season in Illinois, and I get it done. Couldn't be any happier. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Bow hunt or die. The one bird. Unbelievable. Well, I guess I'm gonna probably start packing up here, because there's no way he's coming. He turned around immediately and was out.